How you doing, everybody? Let me sip on a little tea my wife just gave me. She's back there laughing. You see, I got a big boy cup. It's really a bowl slash whatever you want it to be. But this is good. Excuse me. I just want to share a video that I came across that my wife has sent me, and the crazy thing is she wasn't even looking for this video herself. She was watching a video on Halloween, I think it was, and then she came across the video and she watched it, and then she said, "Oh, this is my baby all day right here." He would know exactly what she's talking about. Now, the topic of the video she's talking about the implant, RFID chip, whatever it may be, and she says in the video that she believes that the chip, the mark of the beast, it will change a person's DNA. Now, you may be saying, okay, what's the big deal? Well, if you've been listening to this ministry, you know that I have a video series out so far. It's 4 videos talking about CRISPR. I'm going in detail, showing how the mark of the beast will change man's DNA, which is why when they receive the mark of the beast, whatever it may end up being at the end, there's no redemption for them because they are no longer mankind. So when I came across this video, it was 2 things I want to do. I want to share it with you so you can see that, this is real. This is not just something that I'm making off the top of my head, which you all know that I'm not just making something off the top of my head because I have presented the evidence to you. But the other thing I wanted to do was bring another witness into it. The third thing I wanted to do was to touch bases with her, because when you watch the video, you will see that she's not comfortable making the video, but she's being obedient to the Lord. So when you watch her clip of what she says, just make sure that you pray a prayer for her in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, for God to strengthen her faith, and for God to just continue to be with her, and to give her more boldness to speak the different things that God has given her to speak. And here's the even crazier part about her video. It's her first video she has ever done on YouTube. And you will hear her say that. She said, I don't do this, but I'm just being obedient to the Lord. He's putting in my spirit. She thinks she's crazy, but she doesn't think she's crazy really, but people are thinking she's crazy. So you can tell, like, her faith isn't as strong in that area because she's not comfortable making videos like she did, and she's speaking on something that she doesn't have a complete understanding of, but she understands it. She understands it enough to speak about it, and she has enough faith to speak what God has given her to speak on it. Also, she talks about the God particle. And when you hear her say that, you may be like, oh, that's a bunch of baloney. Well, see how I say this. The world, the elite, the Illuminati, the fallen angels, the principalities and powers, and rulers in dark places, and spiritual wickedness in high places, they have a way of wording things. And it's on us to line up what is being presented with the Bible. But the God particle, in a sense, and I'm put my quotes up, quote, God particle is in the Bible. Now we know that Jesus Christ is God manifest in the flesh. So I'm going to show you where the God particle, in what they are talking about as far as the God particle, and what she is talking about as far as the God particle in the book of John. John chapter 1, verse number 9. But we will We will start at verse number 1 and then we'll read down to verse number 9. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We know this is the Lord Jesus Christ. The same was in the beginning with God. He was with his Father because his Father is God. Three distinct persons that make up the Godhead. All of them are equal in power, in divinity, and they all make up one God, not three gods. One God. What we know as the Godhead or the Trinity. I don't like using the term Trinity because people want to argue about it. You can't argue about the Godhead because it's in the Bible. It just leaves less room for the enemy to try to creep in. Verse number 3 reads, all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Talking about Jesus. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. I'm going to repeat that. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. Verse number 9 is the verse that we want to get at. That was the true light, Jesus Christ, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. So when every man or every person, females included, because one man comes from man. So when you say man, you're pretty much including females too, in reference to that. Every man that cometh into the world, they are lighted with the light, which is the true light, Jesus Christ. So when they come into the world, there is that light in them, Jesus Christ. But that light goes out because of sin. Now, do I completely understand what they are trying to harness out of man? I understand it, but then again, I don't. I don't understand it completely yet. But I know what they call the God particle is this right here. Whatever it is, we know what it is. The light of Christ, Christ in us when we first come into this world, that light goes out. They're trying to harness it, get it, whatever they're trying to do. I think they're trying to get as many souls so they can try to harness this power so that they can be more powerful or try to be more powerful than God. But that gets into the whole, energy thing. I heard Beyonce talk about when she was doing the performance, let me feel your energy and stuff. That gets into some deeper things. Some of you already know about these things. And they're in the Bible. It's just, it's meat. And I just haven't gotten around to diving deep into it and making an actual sermon on it and applying it to the Bible so we can understand it better. But think about this also. When Satan was doing his thing as far as the Nephilim, and they were mingling themselves with the daughters of men, and they created these offsprings. These fallen creatures, they didn't have that light in them anymore. So they were mixing something that wasn't supposed to be mixed. And if the light was in men, as the Bible tells us, and also in the daughters of men, then when they mixed the fallen angels, when they mixed themselves with mankind, they were doing some things that they weren't supposed to do. And that would mean that they wouldn't have the light in them. As it says in verse number 9, that was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. So when a man comes into this world, they have light in them, but that light goes out because of sin. So what happens when you are mingling something together that isn't supposed to be put together? Then it's not sent by God. It's not created by God, which means that it would have no light, but it would have nothing but darkness. And this gets into cloning, and you know, you got humans out here who really are not human. They just are in the flesh of mankind, which this flesh is a temple to house something, um, and all these different things that we know about. But I'm going to share the video, and then if you don't know about CRISPR, do your own research on it. I got 4 videos on it in depth. I think one video is like 2 hours, another one is like an hour and 30. I think the other one was like 2 hours too. In depth videos that should get you a good start on what's going on. Please check it out if you haven't. I beseech you, because it is important to the last days that we are living in. The last video I talked about CRISPR was about the clinical trials. They're going to start doing it on mankind. This was supposed to happen back in September, but I've been watching The Wire. I've been a watchman on the wall, and they haven't really put any information out mainstream. So, I'm not sure why not. I'm not sure why. I'm sure, but I'm not sure why. But they've already done what they're trying to do as far as trying it on mankind, I should say. So I'm just waiting for the information to come out, for the Lord to reveal this information to me so I can share it with you all. But again, I've done enough talking. I'm going to share the video, pray for, and God bless each and every one of you in Jesus Christ's name. As always, stay focused for Jesus, and truth isn't debated, it is declared.
Okay, so this is the first time I've ever done a video. I absolutely hate the idea of me being out there. I don't think I've ever done a video, period. I FaceTimed once. Okay. So, I have these end time dreams, okay? And I don't know what to do with them. I write about it and nobody cares. But it's on my heart heavy, and I feel like I'm supposed to share it, but I'm not getting through to anybody. So maybe somebody will see this and they will be like, wow, okay, her heart is in this. Like, this really means a lot to her, so obviously she's not crazy like the world thinks that people are that get close to God. Anyway, so I had this dream last night that, well, okay. Sorry. Okay, so I was in the doctor's office with my little girls. I have a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old. And we were in there for, I guess, just a checkup. So they were doing their stuff, and the nurse left. And I looked down, and there was, like, a notice on, like, that had just been put there, like, recently. And it had a date on it, but I don't remember what the date was. And it said something about the mandatory injection of a chip inside of children and people in general. But in, like, very small print, there was a disclosure that was saying, you do not have to get this. This is not the law, but we highly recommend that you get this because we know what we're doing. Okay. So, immediately I knew, okay, the chip, I'm almost 100% sure, is the mark of the beast. Some kind of system that's all electronic. Think about all the electronic things that you use throughout your day. If your phone dies, you freak out. Or if you don't have electricity, you freak out. This is crazy. Anyway, I'm looking at my notes. just so I make sure, because I woke up at like 6 o'clock this morning to write this down. Anyway, so I was kind of panicking because I knew that there was this statement and they were going to try to do this to my babies today. So, but I had a peace inside of me that was like, just chill out, okay? Don't freak out. And so the doctor comes in and he's like getting ready to put this chip in Braylee, which is my oldest daughter. And I immediately stepped in front of him and I said, no, you will not. I have the right to choose what to do with my children. And I do not feel comfortable with this. And he got really angry, and you could tell that it really bothered him that I kind of stood up and didn't just go with what everybody else was doing. He got really mad at the nurse that had told me the truth, because she came in and she told me, listen, you do not have to get this if you don't want it. And she was really serious and sincere about it, and she was in and gone like that. Like, there was like not hardly a scene with her at all, just other than telling me, hey, you do not have to get this, okay? So after the doctor realized what the nurse had said, he told her that she had to stop telling people that they had a choice, because if they thought there was a choice rather than an order or like a mandatory, you have to do this because we're the law and we say what goes, people would deny the chip because they have a choice and they're going to kind of wake up to what's going on, okay? Well, it was placed, I figured out that they were trying to put it inside of their head. So, something about the head, there's going to be a chip. I'm not saying this is how it's going to happen. I'm just saying I firmly in my heart believe that the chip, whatever kind of technological chip that they're going to try to get people to take, is bad. Don't do it, okay? The Lord tells us in the Bible that if you take the mark of the beast, you cannot come back from that. So, it might sound crazy to some people, but I think it changes your DNA. It changes the molecular structure of who you are as a person. And I think they're targeting the God particle of you, because everybody has it. You just have to choose to go that way. Anyway, this isn't the first dream I've had about chips. I've had several, but I just felt like I was supposed to do something with this one. And like I said, this is the only video I've ever done, so don't hate on me. God bless. And I hope that somebody gets something out of this, because it's really near to my heart, and I feel like there's an urgency that we have to take it serious. Jesus is coming back soon. And once we get that in our head, then you won't be scared of anything. Like, nothing that is talked about in the news about war or ISIS or economic, like if you're saved, you don't care about all that stuff. I mean, you care, but it doesn't control who you are as a person. You have your faith in Jesus, and you know that things are going to be okay. That's true faith. That's faith in God, and that He will always be there. He's never going to not get you through something when He knows you're in danger. You're His child. It's like, would you let your kid purposefully get hurt when they shouldn't? But you just have to have faith, okay? Faith, faith, faith. God bless.
Because you say I am rich and increased with goods and am need of nothing. And no, you are wretched and miserable, poor, blind and naked. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, Jesus said that He would spit you out of His mouth. Stop playing church. We become something else, something worse, something more like the world. Where is the church? We become something else, neither hot nor cold, but lukewarm, lukewarm church. Jesus said, I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that you may be rich, clothed in white raiment to hide the shame of your nakedness. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, Jesus said that he would spit you out of his mouth. Stop playing church. We become something else, something worse, something more like the world. Where is the church? We become something else, neither hot nor cold, but lukewarm, lukewarm church. You say you a Christian, living like a child of hell. You a Christian, go to church, say the sinner's prayer. You a Christian, stay getting high, getting throwed, yeah. Monday through Saturday, anything go, yeah. Caught up in the world and left your first love. Jesus died in your place, he shed his precious blood. But you gotta be seen, pastor, apostle. Wake up, church, time to go and preach the gospel. Because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, Jesus said that he would